What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and I'm here today with the review for Love and Hip Hop Miami. This is season number 3. This is episode number 1, and the episode is titled "There's No Way." So, you guys, like I said, we're back for a brand new season of Love and Hip Hop Miami. I cannot believe we're on season 3. Like, this is my second year doing YouTube reviews, and I actually began with Love and Hip Hop Miami. So I always have a little soft spot in my heart for Love and Hip Hop Miami, although last season was just not the best season. But I always have a soft spot in my heart for Love and Hip Hop Miami because it is where I got my start with YouTube. So we have a brand new cast. We've gotten rid of some people along the way. So when opening credits showed up, I saw Trina, we saw Trick, we saw Trina, Trick, Amara, Shay, Francine, Frensky, Bucky Johnson. We saw Bobby. We saw, I think that was actually it of the returning cast. So along the way we have lost. Along the way we've lost Prince. We lost Gunplay. Veronica Vega. Jojo is still here, but Jojo's not in the main cast anymore. Thank God for that small favor. And we've added and we've replaced those people with some new cast members, some returning, and some new faces. So we have a new girl by the name of Hood Brat. We got a girl named Sukiana. We have a guy named Brasco, something like that. And we also added 2 new people from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. We added Prima Donna, and we've added the Puerto Rican princess Jocelyn Hernandez, baby. So I'm excited for Love and Hip Hop Miami, to say the least. So let's go ahead and just jump right into this video. All right, you guys. So the episode, it opened up, and it opened up really, really, really heavy. So you guys, I'm gonna ask you guys to bear with me while I try to get through this, because watching this scene, I broke down and cried. And if you guys are not familiar with me and my channel, I don't know. I know I've told my story a few times in the past, but I'm gonna tell it again. So New Year's Day made 7 years that my grandmother passed away, and that was like one of the most devastating days of my life. And then followed by that, my mom passed away almost 3 years ago on March 19th, which coincidentally happens to be my grandmother's birthday. So hard as hell for me, but you know, we're gonna get through it. So this episode, it opened up, and if you've been living under a rock, you don't. If you don't know, you've been living under a rock. But I don't forget what it was. I don't forget if it was like if it was on the summer, or if it was during the fall. But Trina's mother, she passed away. She had cancer. So this episode opens up, and we are at Trina's mother's funeral. And when I saw Trina, break down crying, I'm like, man, I literally just, I know what those emotions feel like. I know what she's going through, because almost 3 years ago, I was in that same predicament. And, like I said, my heart just went out to her. My heart went out to her when I heard that news. Like, anytime I hear that somebody's mom passed away, it's just like, damn. Like, I can understand exactly what you're going through. Like, that is a pain that just never goes away. Like, especially if you're as close to your mom as I was to mine. And I know that Trina was close to her mother. So it's just devastating. Like, when I walked into the hospital room and saw my mom's eyes closed, I'm like, man, she's not coming back at all. Like, I'm never going to see her. And then I remember going home that night from the hospital. Actually, we didn't go straight home. I went to my grandmother's house, and me and my family, we hung out over there for a little bit. And at the end of the night, I'm like, well, I'm gonna go home. And they were like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I have to do this. Like, I don't have any other choice. And, one of my uncles, he came up to me before I walked out to the car. He was like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And, he just grabbed me and gave me a big hug. And I'm like, I'm okay. Like, I'm okay. I'm okay. Which I really wasn't, because the next day one of my cousins called me, and she asked me how was I. And just like what Trina did, I just broke down and just bawled my eyes out. And she was like, you know what, I'm going to call you back later. And I'm like, okay. That's fine. Cool. I'll talk to you later. So, like I said, my heart just literally goes out to Trina for that one. Like, completely. Well, you're not, your life, it just never goes back to what it was before. And you just always wonder, how do I move forward? And she said one thing that I definitely have thought about for a long time, for 3 years almost. I don't think I'll ever know true peace until I'm once again joined by my mom and my grandmother again. I just don't feel like I'll ever know true peace until I see those two women again in my life. Well, in the afterlife. So, like I said, rest in peace to Trina's mom. My heart goes out to you. So, um, so we do see Trina. She's at the studio, and then Joy comes to the studio, and Joy wants to talk about her mom, and Trina's like, I'm just not ready to talk about it. And I understand that aspect as well. So then we talk about Julian and the fact that Trina is mad at him because, somebody gave him an advance of $300,000. And instead of doing what he was supposed to do with the money, which was pay the producers for her album that came out last summer, which I absolutely love that. I love that album. And my favorite song on the album was Baps with Nicki Minaj. Man, I blasted that shit the whole summer when I would go to work. So yeah, like blasted that album religiously. Um, and I was surprised when she said that, the album is no longer available online. So I was like, you know what? We gonna go look and see. And I looked on iTunes and it's not there. I'm like, shit. What did Julian do? Well, she said what Julian did. Julian went and invested the money into his label. I'm like, wait a minute, that's some fuck shit right there. That money was for Trina's album, so you gonna go and invest it in yourself? Like, what kind of fucking manager are you? And I'm gonna talk about Julian in just a minute, about his management skills in just a minute. But what kind of fucking manager are you, Julian, to do that to your artist? That's bullshit and that's fucked up. All right, you guys. This is gonna be quick. Let's just get Jojo out of the way. Jojo, aka Cabbage Patch Doll, aka Angry Bird, aka Miss Piggy. So Jojo, she's having this event. She said that she's doing this deal with Tommy Hilfiger, where she has a line, and I'm like, oh, if you have a line, Jojo, where are the fucking clothes? I don't see any clothes. I just see a bunch of people standing around. Where are the clothes? Where are the models? Where's the product? Where is it, Mona? Mona, Mona, Mona. You are full of shit. If you really believe that we believe this bullshit, fuck out of here, Mona. Get the fuck out of Dodge, Mona. Don't nobody believe that bullshit. So then, again, Bobby's there. Bobby's being messy ass Bobby. He's telling her about this conversation that, Shay Francine Frankie Bucky Johnson had with Amara about her. How, she said Amara misses JoJo and how, she shouldn't be cool with JoJo. And JoJo, like, I would understand, I wouldn't expect anything less from her. And then, she's talking about how she was invited to Amara's release party. And he's like, are you going? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't care. Why did we bring JoJo back? Can anybody explain what the fuck we brought JoJo back for? She gave us a horrible season last year with fucking Roots. God, Roots. Let's move on, you guys. All right, so let's talk about Trick. Trick. I get Trick has lupus, but God, my nigga, why do you look like that? You look like Florida Evans after she got out of the grease fire. And his face just looks sunk in. It's just, he looks like he's about to, it looked like he's casket ready. Like he looked like he's been embalmed. He looks like he's literally been embalmed. Again, I know he got lupus. He can't help. Well, yes, he can help it. He can take his medication. From what I've heard, the nigga don't take his medication. And let's talk about this. Trick has a new girlfriend. I'm like, what? A who? A what? And we meet her, Nikki Natural. And I was looking at Nicki Natural. I'm like, how old is Nicki Natural? Is she like 15, 16? Like, how old is this girl? So then we also go one deeper and we find out that Trick and her haven't been intimate because she's celibate. I'm like, yeah, she's celibate, all right. She's celibate. Mm, she's celibate. Just not, she's celibate. She's celibate, brother. She just ain't trying to give you none. And I cannot say I blame her. Not even 5% of me blames that little girl for not wanting to have sex with Trick. Just could not do it. So we also find out in the midst of this that Trick and Joy are not fucking divorced. What the fuck? We are 3 seasons in, and it is still their fucking storyline that they are not divorced. They're gonna be like that old couple. No, not old couple. They're gonna be like that couple that, they both separated. They refuse to get a divorce. Actually, I'm like that. I mean, they refuse to get a fucking divorce. But they don't live with each other. They only come together for family holidays and shit. Oh my God, why? And Trina gave Joy the money last season to get this divorce. Where did that money go? Somebody explain it to me. Where did the money go? Does Joy know? I'm assuming she doesn't. So then we see Trick. He has his grand opening of his restaurant. I think it's like a barbecue soul food restaurant, something like that. I can't remember. We see everybody's there. He has a new worker there. He has Alvin, Trina's ex-assistant. I'm like, wow, you went from Trina's assistant to working at Trick's restaurant as a cook. My, how the mighty have fallen. You weren't mighty, but just saying, my, how we have fallen from the good graces of Trina. So we see everyone there. We see Chaotic is back. Well, he's there. I don't know if Chaotic is actually back this season. We saw Chaotic. We saw Bobby. We saw Shay, Francine, Frensky, Bucky Johnson. We saw Amara and MJ. And we see that Amara and Bobby are on good terms with each other. And, they start talking about the party. And then they mention Jojo. I just don't know why we keep mentioning Jojo. I really don't know why. Jojo is irrelevant. Again, the fact that the girl brought up fucking Ruth last season, I was just really pissed off about that. Then Amara says, basically she doesn't have an issue with, Shay and Francine, Shay, Francine, Frensky, Bucky Johnson gets in her feelings about that. And I'm like, girl, if they make up, that ain't got shit to do with you. That doesn't mean that she's any less your friend. That just means that she don't want no drama in her fucking life. Like, what the fuck? And then we see Joy show up. And we find out that Joy and Francine, Shay, Francine, Frensky, Bucky Johnson are semi-cool with each other. And then they talking about, Trick's new girlfriend. So Shay, Francine, Frensky, Bucky Johnson, I got to shorten that some kind of way. I have got to shorten that. But, she asked Joy, does she know about Trick's girlfriend? She's like, no, I don't know nothing about that. But, I mean, it's good for him. Good for him. But, she probably going to give him the friend, the homie treatment pretty soon. Ask Chaotic about that. I'm like, damn. You gotta really do that. Stick the knife in the men like that. Cool. So, they call the girl over. They introduce her, this is Trick's girlfriend. This is Trick's wife. I'm like, damn, y'all gotta be messy like that. And again, Bobby. Bobby has been messy throughout this whole entire thing. Because he's gonna be like, you know what, Trick, I think you're still in love with Joy. Trick says in his green screen that he is not in love with Joy, but he does not want to divorce Joy. And I'm like, what kind of fucking sense does that make? What kind of logic is that? That is no logic. Oh, we also saw Prima Donna. She was there as well. And yeah, let's move on. What the fuck? Alright, you guys, so my favorite person is back, Amara La Negra. So the name of the game in my life right now is changed. So, I finally bought my dream house for my mommy and me. And, I also have my living boyfriend as well. We've been together for a couple of months. His name is MJ, and I asked him to move in. And I'm just like, Amara, you cannot be fucking serious. You asked your boyfriend of a couple of fucking months to move in with you. Okay, if you want to say so. And then MJ walks into the kitchen where she and her mom are, and MJ has a fucking towel on. I'm like, nigga, how disrespectful can you fucking be? You are living in her house with her mother, and you're just gonna walk around the house all free. Like, what happens if the towel just drops and your dick is just hanging? Exactly. Like, that's disrespectful as fuck. Nobody wants to see that but Amara. Like, are you fucking serious? So she tells him, you know what? I need help with the party that I'm planning. It's, for my single release party. I need your help. And I'm like, what kind of help do you need from him? Now, let's go back to talking about her manager real quick. So, her manager, Mr. What the fuck is his name? Julian. So, I don't know if Julian is like Amara's real manager or what, because Amara does have some good, like when she has music out, and she had that song "Insecure" from season one, definitely did good. Then she has a song that came out not last year, but in 2018. After that one called "Understanding," it's not the best song, but it's actually a catchy song. And then she put out an EP last year, and her EP is actually really good. And then a few days ago, like when my Apple Music updated, they put one of Amara's songs in there, and it was actually the song that she showcased. And I'm like, why don't her team push her music more? Like, she's so talented. Like, I will equate her to who can I equate her to on this show? Like, she's so talent wise, people that I feel like on Love and from the Love and Hip Hop franchise that has true talent. Amara has true talent. K Michelle has true talent. Um, who else? Like I said in my New York review, Johnny Blaze has true talent. Tierra Marie has talent. She just can't get out of her way. Who else? Tierra Marie, Brooke Valentine, Bridget Kelly. The list goes on and on and on. Olivia has talent. The list can go on and on. There are some talented people on it, Love and Hip Hop, on Love and Hip Hop franchise. The thing is, I don't feel like some of them actually utilize the show the way that they should. The one person that I can say who has utilized this show to catapult them to another level is Cardi B. She's the one person that we can name right off the top that has taken this show and, did big things with it. I mean, you can also kind of say Omarion did something good with this show, but I mean, what has he done since, supposed to be? Because that was the biggest record, and that was in his Love and Hip Hop, era. So Love and Hip Hop does have some talented artists. It's just, I think with Love and Hip Hop, they get overshadowed by all the drama and the mess. But, whatever. So, speaking of Amara and her single, her release party, we see everybody's at the release party. We see Bobby there. And, he's been so, Bobby in this whole episode was messy as fuck. So, Shay Francine Frinsky Bucky Johnson was there. And he told her that she invited, the Cabbage Patch Doll, a.k.a. Miss Piggy, a.k.a. Angry Bird, a.k.a. Jojo, to the party. And, Shay Francine Frinsky Bucky Johnson is in her fucking feelings about that. And I'm like, why are you in your feelings? Like, this is her party, her event. If she wanted to invite her, she can do whatever the fuck she want to do. Did you pay for it? Oh, that's right. No, you didn't. So, shut up. And then, her brother, speaking of which, so, Amara's boyfriend is Shay's brother. So he tries to jump in and she was like, brother, you need to stay out of this. Like, I don't want you to have to choose between your girl and your sister. And I'm just entertaining myself, but this is stupid. This makes no sense. Why are we arguing? What are we arguing about? Again, dumb as fuck. So, Amara mentions Julian's name in front of Joy and in front of Bobby. And they're like, oh shit, not that motherfucker. And she's like, what is it? What is it? What is it? And they were like, well, Trina. Him and Trina, they not on good terms because of some business dealings gone wrong. But, this is not the time or the place. This is all about you. You have fun. You enjoy yourself. And you enjoy your party. So then, we see as Miss Piggy, a.k.a. the Cabbage Patch Doll, a.k.a. Angry Bird, a.k.a. Jojo walks in. So then Shay Francine Frinsky Bucky Johnson, she sees it and she dips out. I'm like, well, that was the smartest thing you've done so far in the 3 years on Love and Hip Hop Miami. Walked away. Actually, that's the smartest thing you've done in your whole time on Love and Hip Hop between Atlanta and Miami. Walked away from a situation. So as she walks out, Jojo, and Amara come face to face with each other. Jojo had a boyfriend. I'm like, oh. Let's speak about JoJo real quick. Now, if we go back to look at JoJo from the last 2 seasons, her tits have been sitting up. Now her tits are drooping. I'm like, damn, are your implants starting to sag or what? Like, what's going on with your titties? I ain't judging her, but I'm just saying, what's going on with your titties, sis? What's going on with your titties? Inquiring minds would love to know. So, JoJo is like, you know what, Amara, things are not good between us right now, and I would really like to apologize to you. And, Amara's like, I thought about it because I knew you were coming to the party, and I wanted to make up with you, but then I went and looked at all your interviews that you did, and then I looked at previous posts that you made about me, and I had to change of heart. And the reason why Amara had to change of heart, and it makes a lot of sense. Amara's like, the reason why I had to change of heart, JoJo, is because you now want to talk to me because we're filming this season. Like in the off season, you had so many times you saw me in Atlanta. You could have slid in you could have gotten my DMs. You could have did so much shit. But now you want to fuck with me because we're filming this show. I ain't fucking with you. I'm good on you. It is what it is. And I'm like, I agree with that. That makes a lot of sense. If you know that a person's trying to use you for camera time, because who was she filmed with besides Bobby? Actually, that's the only person she filmed with this episode was Bobby until she went to this party. So Amara got her number, and she ain't fucking with the bitch. I ain't mean to call her bitch. She ain't fucking with JoJo. And I can't say I blame her. So then Bobby is still on this whole messy shit. So Trina, Trick, him, and Joy are at the bar. And Bobby once again mentions this. He mentions Julian. And I'm like, why the fuck would you mention Julian? I'm pretty sure Trina got 2 working eyes and she can see Julian across the room. I'm pretty sure she would prefer to not look at Julian, but you gotta sit here and mention Julian. How fucking messy can you be, my nigga? Exactly. Let's move on. Actually, guys, that is it for this first episode of Love and Hip Hop Miami. I really hope this season is better than the last 2 seasons. Season 1 was okay. It was just the girls' drama was stupid as shit. Last season, the Roots shit was horrible. But you guys, be sure to like this video, leave your comments, subscribe to my channel, hit that bell notification button so you guys know when I drop anything. Share this video, and if you guys would like to follow me on social media, you can follow me on Twitter at JB_the_CEO. My Instagram is Jbsayzwhat, and my Snapchat is Mr. GB _ it is to you. I believe that's it. If it's not correct, it's in the description bar below. So I will catch you guys tomorrow. I'm starting the have and the have nots. I'm really excited to review this show. I've had a ball reviewing the Oval, so I feel like I'm gonna have a good time with the have and the have nots. So until then, you guys, later.